Welcome to the Golden Line. Chapter 7. The Divided Kingdom. The kingdom that looked so strong is about to crack. But even when everything falls apart, God's promise remains.
Mom, chapter 6 ended with Solomon's kingdom so powerful. What happens next?
Next, the crown passes to Solomon's son, Rehoboam, and for one tense moment, the whole kingdom waits for his answer. The people come to him tired and burdened. They say, "Your father made our work heavy. Please make it lighter and we will serve you." Rehoboam has a choice. He can become a servant king and heal the nation, or he can choose pride. The older advisors tell him, "Serve the people kindly, and they will serve you forever." But his young friends tell him to be harsh. So Rehoboam stands before the people and says, "My father made your burden heavy, but I will make it heavier. My father disciplined you with whips, but I will discipline you with scorpions."
That was so unfair. One answer split the whole kingdom?
Yes. His proud answer cracked the kingdom in two. 10 tribes in the north broke away and followed Jeroboam. They became the kingdom of Israel. The southern tribes stayed with Rehoboam. They became the kingdom of Judah. Israel had Samaria. Judah had Jerusalem, the temple, and the line of David. But before all this happened, God had already warned them. A prophet named Ahab took a new garment and tore it into 12 pieces. Then he gave 10 pieces to Jeroboam. It was a picture of the kingdom being ripped apart. But one piece remained for David's line because God had not forgotten his promise. The golden line was still alive.
Why did Jeroboam make golden calves?
Because he was afraid. The temple was still in Jerusalem, in Judah. Jeroboam thought, if my people go there to worship, their hearts may return to Rehoboam. So instead of trusting God, he built 2 golden calves, one in Bethel and one in Dan. He told the people, "Here are your gods." It was like the terrible sin at Mount Sinai happening all over again. He changed worship to protect his own power. And that sin pulled the northern kingdom deeper and deeper into darkness.
Did God send anyone to stop this?
Yes. When kings failed, God sent prophets. One of the greatest was Elijah. Elijah walked into the court of King Ahab, one of Israel's most wicked kings. Ahab and his wife Jezebel had filled the land with Baal worship. So Elijah announced a drought. No rain. No relief. It was a direct challenge to Baal, the false storm god. Then Elijah went into the wilderness, and God cared for him there. Ravens brought him food beside a quiet brook. Even when the kingdom was falling apart, God still cared for his servant. Then came the great showdown on Mount Carmel. The prophets of Baal shouted for hours. They danced, cried, and cut themselves, but nothing happened. No voice, no fire, no answer. Then Elijah rebuilt the altar of the Lord. He poured water over the sacrifice again and again until everything was soaked. Then he prayed, and fire fell from heaven. It burned the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, the dust, and even the water. The people fell down and cried, "The Lord, He is God."
Fire fell from heaven. That must have been scary.
Yes, it was one of the most powerful moments in the divided kingdom. But Jezebel was furious. She threatened to kill Elijah. So Elijah ran into the wilderness, exhausted and afraid. He sat under a tree and felt like giving up. But God did not throw him away. God gave him food. God gave him rest. Then God spoke to him, not in the wind, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but in a gentle whisper.
Did Elijah stay strong after that?
God strengthened him again. And later, Elijah's work continued through Elisha. There was even a powerful moment when Elijah was taken up in a whirlwind with chariots of fire, and Elisha received his mantle. Elisha also performed many miracles. He helped a poor widow. He raised a woman's son. And he healed Naaman, a Syrian commander with leprosy. Naaman washed in the Jordan River 7 times, just as Elisha told him. When he obeyed, God healed him.
What about Elisha and Naaman? Why include that story?
Because Naaman was not from Israel. His healing shows that God's mercy was never meant to stay with one nation only. Even in dark days, God was showing that his blessing would one day reach the whole world. But Israel still would not listen. The prophets warned them, the miracles called them back, but the northern kingdom kept chasing idols. Finally, Assyria came. The Assyrian army marched against Israel. Samaria fell. Families were taken away. Foreign people were brought into the land. The northern kingdom was scattered.
So Israel fell first?
Yes, in 722 BC, the northern kingdom fell to Assyria. The kingdom that began with Jeroboam's golden calves ended in exile. Judah should have learned from this. And for a while, there were hopeful moments. King Hezekiah trusted the Lord when the Assyrian army surrounded Jerusalem. He went into the temple, spread the enemy's letter before God, and prayed. And God saved Jerusalem. Later, King Josiah found the forgotten book of the law in the temple. When he heard God's word, he tore his clothes in sorrow and led the people back to worship.
Did Judah learn from it?
For a little while. But after Josiah, Judah turned back to sin again. God sent Jeremiah to warn them. He told them Babylon was coming, but the people would not listen. They thought Jerusalem could never fall. They thought the temple would protect them. But the temple was not a magic shield. Then King Nebuchadnezzar came with the Babylonian army.
Jerusalem was surrounded. The city starved. The walls broke.
The temple Solomon built was burned. The final king, Zedekiah, was captured and taken away in chains. It looked like everything was lost. The kingdom was gone. The temple was gone. The people were carried into exile.
But the golden line was not gone. God still remembered his promise to David.
A true king would still come. Not a proud king like Rehoboam. Not a fearful king like Jeroboam. Not a wicked king like Ahab. One day, Jesus would come from the line of David. He would be the faithful king. The divided kingdom shows us that sin divides, pride destroys, and idols enslave. But it also shows us that God keeps speaking. He sends prophets. He calls his people back. Chapter 7 ends with Jerusalem destroyed and God's people carried away to Babylon. In chapter 8, we follow the story into exile. We will see dreams, kings, lions, fire, courage, and hope. The kingdom has fallen, but the promise is still alive.